Now, it was a day of apologies for Boris Johnson in the wake of the Sue Gray report. Facing both MPs and the nation, Johnson took full responsibility for the rule-breaking at Number 10 and promised that measures had since been put in place to ensure rule-breaking on the same scale would not happen again. And while Sir Piers Cormer and the MSM don't seem to want to accept his apology and have renewed their calls for the PM to go, what do you think? Do you accept the Prime Minister's apology for any breaches in Number 10? Let me know what you think. Email me, dan@gbnews.uk. Tweet me at gbnews. We've got a poll running there too, the results shortly. But to help you make up your mind, I'm joined by Pimlico Plumbers founder Charlie Mullins, the broadcaster and author Nina Myscow, and the Conservative MP for Lichfield, Michael Fabricant. Good evening all. I'm going to ask you the simple question first, and can you give your reasoning too? Charlie Mullins, do you forgive Boris Johnson and why?
No, I don't forgive him, and the reasons are obviously why. I think morally it's incorrect, but unfortunately he's going to stay in, and I think we have to now support him and make the best of it rather than spend more time on Partygate.
So you don't forgive, but you're prepared to move on?
Well, we have to move on. I mean, we've spent too much time already, and it's more serious things we need to get on with, and, you know, he's not going, so we might as well back him, tolerate him.
Michael Fabricant, do you forgive your leader?
Well, you know what? I know him, and I do forgive him. I mean, I genuinely think that he took advice.
No,
he was told that he was in a work environment, he wasn't breaking the law. All the wild things that happened, like those Friday night parties, was when he was 45 miles away at Chequers and didn't know anything about it. So, yeah, you know what? I was going to say I'm a Christian. Actually, I'm not a Christian, but I'm certainly into forgiveness.
Nina Myscow, do you forgive Boris Johnson?
I absolutely don't. His apology was waffle, piffle. There was no real meaning behind it. It seems to me that if you apologise, there should be some remorse, there should be contrition, there should be a sense of responsibility. None of those things were present. You know, he is a man who is so accustomed to apologising in his life. He has lied so often in his life. Can you imagine? He has lied to everybody. He's lied to his bosses, he's lied to his wives, he's lied to his mistresses, he's lied to Parliament, as far as I'm concerned. He has lied to his party, he has lied to the Labour Party, he's lied to the country, and why on earth should we believe anything he says?
Michael, you've got to come back on that.
Well, I hope you can hear me, because I just had somebody fiddling with my microphone, so am I on air?
Can we hear you loud and clear?
Can you hear me loud and clear? Well, you know, as I say, I just wonder whether Nina can tell me, when did she ever like Boris? Or is this just a continuation of a very long grudge?
No, I actually, when Boris was first elected Mayor of London, I thought, like most people, gosh, well, there's a breath of fresh air.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Well, that doesn't matter. You asked me a question, I'm answering it. I thought the breath of fresh air and all his, you know, he was, you know, smart, and he was this, and he was different, and his hair was messy, and he was somebody that...
His hair's still messy.
He was somebody who could, let's not discuss hair, please. Somebody who could make a big impression on a kind of global stage. And then
which he's done, Nina.
And then I saw that, and it has all turned negative, because you suddenly saw the real Boris, the red and tooth and claw, absolute selfish, narcissistic ambition.
But don't you give him credit? Don't you give him credit, Nina, for at least, you know, we got the vaccine before, or 3-4 months before the European Union.
Israel were vaccinating people before us.
Yeah, but not on a general programme, they weren't. The first general programme, and I know Israel extremely well, that was the experimental programme. Do you really have to go back to
vaccine? We're not talking about...
All right, talk about Ukraine.
Let Charlie Mullins
Nina, also, you have got to respect the guy for doing Brexit and the vaccination.
Yeah. I do not respect him for doing Brexit, because he dragged us into...
No, I don't believe in Brexit.
So, Nina, OK, so let's be honest. That's what this comes down to. It's always what it comes down to. You are, with the greatest of respect, a massive Ramona, and Ramonas want Boris Johnson out of office because you know that he is the only man who will see Brexit through.
Elevate this debate so that we don't call each other names.
But you were
a
the one who
Ramona
brought up...
or a Brexiteer.
You're the one who
Because
brought
We'll just call Boris Johnson our Prime Minister a
I
liar.
didn't bring up Brexit. You...
No, I brought
you-
Brexit. I brought
He
Brexit
brought
up.
it up. I didn't.
And then you went into a harangue, Nina.
I have accepted the fact that Brexit has happened and we are going over the cliff.
Was that
And
when you
that's that.
hated him?
I don't hate him.
Oh.
I don't hate him.
Seems like
I
you do,
don't
Nina. It's like you've got a visceral negativity towards the man.
I don't respect him. And this country deserves somebody with integrity, with morals, with standards to lead them. He has debased his office. He has debased the government, and he has debased this country.
So who would you like to take over, Nina?
I would like anybody to take over rather than him. I really would. Seriously.
But do you give him no
anybody.
credit at all, though, Nina?
Look, he has great charisma. He has great charm. He's a brilliant politician. But when you have all of that, you also have to have morals, standards. You have to have a vision. You have to have empathy for other people. And he is a narcissistic man who doesn't care for anybody else.
Michael Fabricant, this almost... And look, I'm not saying specifically Nina, because we have a lot of people on the show who feel the same way, but it's almost like a deranged hatred of Boris.
I am not deranged, and it's not a hatred.
But you
I
do
just
hate him,
have
though,
no
don't you?
respect.
But
I
Michael
have no
Fabricant,
respect.
what do you think?
Well, you know, he's a Marmite character. Now, I can tell you, I absolutely love Marmite on toast, and I do love...
And you love Boris running the country.
Oh, you know, there are Marmite men and there are not Marmite men, and I'm a Marmite man. I'm also a Boris man. Why? Because actually I do think he is profoundly honest and decent. You know, first thing tomorrow morning...
Honest.
Just let me say something without you squawking at me, please. And, you know, first thing tomorrow morning, he's getting up early, I found out, and I think this is, like, first time anyone said this on television today. And I know he's going around thanking all the cleaners because he felt so bad about what happened.
Really?
Getting up at about 6:30 to get the early morning shift. I hope none of the cleaners are watching because it's meant to be a surprise.
Do you know that's one of the things that what he said in Parliament today? He said, and he thought it was appalling about the cleaners and the security guards.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely right. But doesn't it smack of that elitist must take care of the servants, otherwise it's really bad
Well, you
form.
can't win, can he, Nina, with you? If he didn't do that, you'd be saying he's posh. If he does do it, you say he's posh. There's nothing wrong with being posh.
What I really despise about him is that he said he takes full responsibility. So he takes full responsibility of the whole atmosphere of everything to do with Number 10. If he'd taken full responsibility, he would have resigned. Why are people...
Why should he? Charlie Mullins, you run a massive business.
Why?
If one of your plumbers were to make a mistake and do something wrong or break the law, I wouldn't expect you to resign for it, but I would expect you to put rules in place to perhaps shake up your management. And, Charlie, that's exactly what Boris Johnson has done at Number 10.
The fact is he has to apologise. If we don't accept the apology, then we have to wait till the next election and then do the voting then. But what more can the man do but apologise? We all know morally it's wrong, but what more can he do?
Nina, is there no charity in your heart?
There is plenty of charity in my heart, and that charity is for the people who have been bereaved, who didn't have a chance to say goodbye to their
I'm one of
partners.
them.
Yeah, and
I don't like this politicising of people who lost relatives, Nina. I find it
Amanda
very
was talking about it
uncomfortable.
before. I'm not politicising it.
You're just raised
Nina.
I am not politicising it. I'm saying those are the people I have sympathy for. Why
Charlie,
should
you
I have
come in?
Yeah, we all have sympathy for the people, and it's a terrible thing that's happened. But do you not think we have to draw a line under it and move forward and try and concentrate on the things that are more important?
We have to move forward with a different leader.
Why don't we do that then?
With a different leader, because this man is dragging this country down.
But Nina, can I just ask Nina?
This man,
Nina,
who you say is dragging the country down, was the first country in the world, as I said earlier, to have a general programme for the vaccine. Some 4 months before any other country in the world was supplying... Stop interrupting me for a second, please.
You two are like man and wife, you know that.
Was providing arms to Ukraine. And, you know, in Ukraine, he is regarded as the national hero, not Macron, not Scholz, and not even Biden.
Listen.
You know, so he has not brought this country down.
Zelensky
and in fact, all the sort of nonsense that we're hearing now, all this nonsense that we're... Let me just finish and then I'll come over to you. But all this nonsense that we hear, and you say it's dragging this country down, isn't recognised in any other part of the world. The only time they think we're mad is when they listen to people like you who say that a leader like Boris Johnson, who has achieved so much, could be brought down because he had a birthday cake on his birthday.
It wasn't even a cake, Michael. It was a can of beer. It's not just a
birthday cake. It is not just a birthday cake.
Nina, can I just ask you what right you believe you have to subvert democracy? Boris Johnson was elected in a landslide in 2019. The only group of people in this country who, before the next general election, are allowed to boot him from office are Tory MPs, Michael Fabricant being one of them. What right do you have to demand that the public vote doesn't matter, that it doesn't mean anything?
The public vote does matter, and if you'll notice that the 59% in the YouGov poll say that Boris should resign. So I think you three are out of step with the people. Out of step with the people. Most people, the majority of people in this country think Boris and know
Charlie,
Boris
do you
is a
believe
liar.
that?
They don't accept his apology, and they would like him to resign.
Nina, take a breath. His own party at the moment are still with him. There's only 20 of the MPs, Conservative MPs, that have got a no confidence vote.
They're on the wrong side of history. They're fools.
They're what?
On the wrong side of history.
So you've just called Michael Fabricant a fool?
Well, if he blindly supports a leader who is so patently lacking in any kind of moral fibre, any kind of integrity, then I'm afraid that you are following a false hero.
So Michael Fabricant, according to Nina, you're on the wrong side of history and you're a fool. Why is she wrong?
She's wrong because on the big calls, Boris has got it right.
Tell me about the vaccine again. Tell me about the vaccine.
Well,
I won't go all through.
Tell me something else other than the vaccine.
It is like a parrot, sort of interrupts you at random.
You've told me I'm squawking.
Well, you are.
And I
Just let me speak without
very rude about
interruption.
you, and I haven't been.
It's very rude of you, you know.
I have not been. I have not.
You are,
because
you won't let me speak. I mean, it's remarkable.
Let's all take a turn.
You've been ranting on for long enough.
Oh.
So you
shall I answer or?
Yes, Michael Fabricant. Final word to you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for that. Final word, because he gets the big calls right, because he is a decent person, and I don't.
Where do you draw your line?
Nina, it's Michael's turn. It's Michael's final word. Nina, behave.
I don't believe in all this inverse snobbery, and I'm afraid Nina loathes him because of Brexit. And Nina loathes him, and you know what?
Because he has no integrity.
She always has
integrity. I have not.
Great stuff. Thank you so much to all three of you. I loved it.
Your moral bar is
Nina, you always wants to get the final word. That was Pimlico Plumbers founder Charlie Mullins, the broadcaster and author Nina Myscow, and the Conservative MP for Lichfield, Michael Fabricant.